Good morning, everyone. It's Natalie here, and welcome to my channel, Find Joy in the Journey. Woo! It's Sunday morning, so happy Sunday. I just came out here. You know, Sunday's always going to be a late start. But I just came out, and I haven't even done my morning inspection. Can you believe it? But like I said, Sundays are different. But I did so much work in the Joy Garden yesterday. I hope you took a look at that video, maintaining the Joy Garden, because I did a little reconstruction here. I added some more landscaping fabric. I added some edging. I used bricks as edging. That's so my husband and my son, or myself, we can come in with the weed eater and we can edge the perimeter of the garden and keep things nice and neat. There's certain areas that we haven't got to yet. I will need more bricks for edging, but they're inexpensive. I get them from Home Depot. I think they're about 48 cents. And I'll go get maybe 10 at a time, maybe 20 at a time. And then just little by little, I'll just fill in the blanks. So I'm almost done. I'm gonna edge the entire garden. My garden is like a little U shape. But just from the work that I did yesterday, it looks so nice and neat. So I'm gonna, we're gonna look at it again, even though I did another video where I showed my work and the finished project. And like I said, also I planted some new transplants that I got from Clegg's Nursery. So I'm gonna share with you the things that I got. I know it's a little premature, but I just couldn't help myself. And one of these plants that I got is actually heat tolerant. So I am planting it a little early in the season, but this is a heat tolerant vegetable. So I'll show you that. And also let you see some of the little goodies that I bought. But my channel is not all about gardening, but that is my main interest right now. I'm enjoying working in my garden, in the Joy Garden. I call it the Joy Garden because my channel is Find Joy in the Journey, and it's just about my life's journey and me just finding joy in everyday life. And right now, the garden, I named it the Joy Garden because this is what's giving me the most joy right now. It's a lot of work. It keeps me busy, but I try to balance my time. So anyway, I'm going to go out there and show you a few things that's in the garden, and also will show you my goodies that I got from a shopping trip. Okay, so let's go now. Field trip. Okay, you guys, so one of the things I want to share with you is what I found at a place called Marshall's. I like to shop at stores like Marshall's, TJ Maxx, Ross, excuse me. So this is a product. I had been looking for bags to store like my produce in. And I found these mesh reusable produce bags at Marshall's. It was like $6 for a box of 6. But the thing is that I can easily get these also on Amazon. But since it was right there, I just decided to go ahead and get them. So I have some potatoes that I harvested. So I get a chance to actually show you the bag with my sweet potatoes. Okay, so these are the sweet potatoes that I harvested about a week or so ago. And look at this. So I'm happy with my sweet potato harvest. My regular potatoes, like I had Yukon Gold, Red Norland, and Kennebec, and they didn't turn out. But my sweet potato harvest was pretty good. And I'll also show you, I have these that I have stored in my little mesh produce bag. It has a drawstring. Okay. And it has this little tag that shows you the weight, or maybe how many ounces I guess it can hold. Okay. But these are reusable mesh bags. So, I mean, I'll be able to use this with garlic. When I do finally get some potatoes that I can harvest, I'll be able to use it with that. So, my reusable mesh produce bags. Okay, so that was one thing that I'm happy about. Okay. Now, the other thing that I found, and actually, you can probably see it behind me. I have my sweet, super sweet Genovese basil. My son and my husband does not like the smell of it. I love it. So to dry out my basil, I had to bring it outside. It's only here temporarily. I just wanted to try it out. I think I'll put it in my she shed out there. It'll be better protected. So right here it may not. I mean, I don't know if squirrels and birds like basil, but they're hanging. That is the actual product that I have right here. It's an herb dryer. I got this from Hobby Lobby. When I went to Hobby Lobby with my son earlier in the spring, he goes there because he's into a lot of artwork, so he goes there for his products and stuff that he needs for that. And I went over, actually recorded it, and there's a video on it. I went over to the section where my interests are. So I'm over in there where they have the spring shop. They have products called the spring shop. So this is from spring of 2024, of course. And I saw this. What I purchased that day was an apron because I wanted the apron. At that time, their prices were 20% off. I saw this. I didn't get it because it's $18.99. And it's cute and it's good and sturdy, but I don't believe it's worth $19. That's just my opinion, okay? So I waited and I went back recently while everything in the garden section, especially spring items, are now 75% off. So instead of paying $18.99 for this, I paid $4.75, I believe. Okay, so I got 2 of them, and I just tried it out with this basil over here. You can see it. Get a little bit closer. So I'm just trying it out, and I have my basil hanging up here. But it's basically a hoop. It has a hook at the top and a ring. Okay? And you hang up your basil, your mint, whatever it is, your oregano. Okay, that's one way to dehydrate your herbs and things like that. You can hang them on a drying rack. The other ways is to put it in a dehydrator, which I did, and I've tried that method, and also using the oven. But the oven, it will light up your entire house. I put some rosemary in the oven, and it was aromatic. How about that? So I was just trying different ways. So this is my first time trying using a dryer like this and just hanging it on a herb drying rack. So this is it. You can see that. So it's my herb drying rack that I got from Hobby Lobby. Okay, so like I said, there's 3 different ways. You can use the oven, you can use the dehydrator, or you can hang them up to dry. So those are my little goodies that I got. Now, what else do I have? Let's see here. The transplants. That's what I wanted to show you. All right, you guys. Here are the transplants that I bought from Clegg's Nursery. Right now, they have a heat-tolerant broccoli plant, Destiny broccoli, and I've actually planted that. I'll show you that in a second. But they also have Green Magic. Okay, and there's mustard. Now, you know I have my own mustard greens that I grew from seed. I started them as transplants in my greenhouse, and then I planted them in my garden, and I've actually harvested from them twice. So, but I saw these little plants, these transplants that were already going, so I'm like, you know what? Maybe I can, get these going before the season ends, and I can have more mustards. I also have cabbage. Cheers, cabbage. Okay, I'm gonna try to keep holding some place here. Here we go. This is the cabbage. And I also have something I'm trying new this year, Chinese cabbage. I wanted to give that a try. Try not to mix up my little tags. So I found those at Clegg's Nursery. I'm like, that's the only place where you can find broccoli plants or any brassicas like this, broccoli and cabbage. Right now, that's the only place you can find seedlings like this or transplants, because right now it's so hot. The weather is so hot, they cannot ship in the transplants because they will literally die on the truck, is what I'm told. It's so hot, they can't keep them alive long enough to deliver them. So I was surprised that Clegg's had it. So I just decided to get some so I can get started. Down here, something with those sweet potatoes. The smaller ones, I kept the larger ones to cook, and I took the smaller ones and I decided to do some sweet potato slips. These are Beauregard sweet potatoes. So that's what that is down there. Okay, now let me show you the Destiny broccoli that I planted yesterday. Here we are. That's the broccoli I planted yesterday. This is Destiny, and it is heat tolerant. So it looks like it's doing pretty well. I was afraid I'd wake up in the morning and find them all wilted, but they're doing fine. I'm happy about that. Look, I also got some Tom Thumb lettuce. That's my favorite. I think the Tom Thumb and the one that I grew earlier in spring, and I don't even know what variety it was, but I got a great harvest from that. And the Tom Thumb also. The other lettuce that I tried to grow, for me, it didn't turn out right. I grew something called Iceberg A, and I didn't like it. In the window box, I grew a window box lettuce. It came out pretty good, but it dies off so fast. I didn't even get a chance to eat it. You bring it inside, and before you can make a salad, it's gone. So I'm going to stick with the Tom Thumb, and I'll find another lettuce that I can grow later on. So we have Destiny broccoli. Now I do have some sweet potatoes in the soil. This is Marguerite sweet potatoes. And I found these two plants at this little side of the road nursery. I gotta mention it. She was the sweetest little old lady, a little mom and pop nursery. And I was just driving down the street heading to Clegg's nursery. And that's where I saw her little shop. So I stopped over just to visit, and I got these from her. I wanted to buy something from her, so I got these little Marguerite sweet potatoes. I bought 2 plants, and as you can see, they're doing well. I just planted those maybe a day or so ago. And then I'm gonna see if I can pronounce it this time. Makati. Makati sweet potatoes. Those I got from Clegg's about a week ago, and they've been in the soil, and as you can see, they're nice and healthy. So let's see if we can keep up this trend here. Okay, so those are the little things that I have, the new things that I have in the garden. It just breaks my heart. Just when you think your peppers are flourishing, you go over to pick one and you find that an insect has got to them. So my beautiful red pepper. Right at the bottom, you can see where some little bug was having himself a brunch. but that's okay. I'm gonna keep going. I'm too excited about my peppers. So the more, like, look, the more you grow, the more you learn, the more you grow. I will figure out how to protect my peppers if it's the last thing I do. That one on the end is an orange bell pepper plant. The one next to it is a yellow. And the one over there with that red pepper, of course, that's a red bell pepper plant. The rest of them are, we have grand bell mix, Jupiter bell peppers, and they're babies right now. So grand bell mix, Jupiter bell peppers, and I think it's California Wonder. Yeah, California Wonder. So we're gonna get it. Look, trial and error. I'm gonna figure out how to protect my peppers. Okay. So quick little inspection of the pepper patch. And I've been pruning too. I've been making sure that they're well fed and fertilized, and I've been pruning. Like, see that one down there? I guess I didn't catch that one yesterday. Those leaves at the bottom can go. When you prune off some of the leaves, it promotes what they call side shoots. So, and also I told you about pepper pinching. When you pinch the smaller peppers, like on a plant like this, you pinch off the smaller peppers on the top so we can focus on the ones that are already growing, and they'll produce, that plant will produce larger peppers. Look, my beautiful lavender. This is called Goodwin Creek lavender, and it is still going strong. And I love when I water it and you can smell the lavender. Other than that, you can't smell it, but when you water it, you definitely can smell it. My sunflowers are still holding on. Okay. Got my collards and my mustards. Now, these are my mustards that I grew from seed in my greenhouse, and my collards too. So I've been fighting the little caterpillars over here. But you know what? It is much better this season. Normally it's infested with caterpillars and bugs, but this time just you find maybe one or two caterpillars and maybe a few little bugs, but it hasn't been bad. As you can see, you see just a few nibbles here and there. So I'm quite pleased with that. I was brokenhearted last spring when they got to my mustards, and they just had a field day. So this is going much better. Like I said, I've harvested off it twice. So my oregano here and my parsley. That's curled parsley. And I think that's Italian oregano. Probably time to do another harvest of that. That's my rosemary, and I did harvest from the rosemary. So that's why they're small right now, because I did harvest from that. Those are those two lettuces that I told you about. Right there is the iceberg A, and I harvested from it. But tell you what, it wasn't really a harvest, it was just a cutback. I was just cutting back the foliage or the leaves so I can see if it would regrow, if I had time to regrow it. Because I actually let it stay too long. With the iceberg A lettuce, it stayed too long. This was the window box lettuce. Okay, and like I said, it was pretty decent, but before I could even make a salad out of it, it had withered. Over there is my sweet Genovese basil, super sweet Genovese basil, and I've harvested from it twice. That's what you see hanging up on the drying rack over there. Over here is a new plant. If you can remember, I put one of my beefsteak plants that I grew from seed in my greenhouse. I had one in here, but it died. It just, and it wasn't the main stem. It still looks strong and healthy, but the leaves and the little branches just, they were floppy, and nothing I did. No fertilizing. No. I even used this solution that I have for plant starting. None of that worked. It's a solution that I have where once you plant a new transplant, it's supposed to help with transplant shock, and it didn't work. But like I always say, when I plant something, I always try to have, instead of a plan B, I have a plant B. So I had plant B here already ready to go in the greenhouse. So I put this in the soil, and as you can see, it is still healthy. Let's hope it stays that way. This is a beefsteak tomato plant. Behind it over there, I finally was able to get my cucumber plants up and going, and look how nice they look. I tried this 3 times, and third time was a charm. I first started off with Dasher 2. They died. It was 4 plants. And then I went back to what I did best in the spring, which was straight 8. The straight 8 plants, they died. So I went back to Dasher 2 again. And these are the Dasher 2s. Third time is a charm. Looking good. Okay? Nice and healthy. So let's see. Let's see what happens. Dag nabbit, I did it again. Shucks. I left those okra on there too long. Look at the size of that thing. That's way too big, right? Okay. No judgment, you guys. I was busy yesterday, man. My garden was under construction. But, yes, I'm just happy to see that these 12 plants are still producing. These plants I started in spring, early spring. If you can remember, I had too many okra plants in the pots, and I had to separate them. That was my first time actually separating a plant, and it worked perfectly. So I was able to put, instead of 4 in each container, I have 2 in each container. So that means I have 12 okra plants, and they're still actually producing, and they're still healthy. Let me see here. The 8 plants over here, these are Louisiana green velvet, and those 4 over there, that is Clemson spineless. But as you can see, they're still going strong. So I'm going to let them continue on until they just give out. Okay. These are my other mammoth sunflowers. Look at this little baby trying to do something. Look at that. Oh, shuckums. Oh, look at them. So I'm going to have 6 more plants, just like the one over there. The 2 that's over there. I have 6 more mammoth Russian sunflower plants over here. Wow, I can't wait. I got to find a place for a forever home for them. My tomato plants got a good pruning and fertilizing yesterday. I pruned the heck out of those determinants. And the determinants and the indeterminants. Plus I restaked them. I didn't want to do too much. I see a few more little branches or limbs, whatever, that I can cut off. But when you prune, especially when you're doing a lot, it's best to, take it easy on the plant. You don't want to stress it out. So, but I pruned as many of those ugly little leaves as I could without damaging, especially the determinants, because remember I told you about determinants. If you cut off too many limbs, especially at the top where the little flowers are, you're losing your fruit. So with the determinant, I tried to stay down below. Especially with the indeterminates, I did a lot of pruning. Because if they grow out of control, you have a mess. So I took care of that yesterday, and they look healthier to me. They look much better. These are my watermelons. I see some bees down there doing their job. Yes. Do it, little bees. Have your way. Because it's so hot, I can't do like I did in springtime. I can't come out here and hand pollinate. Because it's just, really, I'm sweating right now just doing this quick little inspection and tour. But there it is. Look. Do you see? Do you see that little bee helping me out? Okay, I think that's a bee. He looks kind of strange. You're not a bee. Are you a pollinator? Look, don't eat my plant. Pollinate and move to the next female flower. Get you some pollen and move to the next female flower. Oh, it is a bee. Okay. Well, I'm going. It just looks so strange. It didn't look like a bee. Okay, these are my banana plants. I'm going to find a spot for them. I moved them from up under the shade cloth. They were just there temporarily, actually. Once I separated the pups from the mother, I put them in separate pots, containers, and they just found a little home right there. But that wasn't their forever home. I just didn't get around to moving them because I actually want to find another place for them. And I'll show you where I'm thinking of putting them. I hope my husband agrees. I'll show you where I'm thinking of putting the banana plants. Okay. This container right here is where I moved my oldest watermelon plants. And I'm thinking of using that. I've treated the soil with Neem Max. It's probably time for me now to go in there and start digging around and getting the roots out of there. And then I'm going to amend the soil. We'll see what it needs. I don't know if it needs more peat moss or whatever, but definitely more perlite, some more fertilizer for sure. And I'm thinking of putting the cabbage in here. I think I can fit at least 3 cabbages in there, because you want to leave room. You don't want them all piled together, so they can get as big as they possibly can. So I'm still deciding how many. It's definitely where the cabbage is going to go, but I'm trying to decide how many I'm going to put in there. So once I actually start planting, we'll see. Okay. Over here, those are my red beans, my red kidney beans. And look at that. Another little seedling is sprouted. Okay, and there's actually bean pods on those leaves over there on the plant. There's actually bean pods. They're hidden under those leaves. My pinto beans, they're still trying. They're still trying. I'm thinking of planting more in this little area in the middle. There's nothing in there. I'm considering planting more pinto beans right there in the middle because these are struggling so much. The original ones are struggling so much because they were just attacked by bugs early on when I first planted them, and it's been a hard time recovering. And I'm trying to save my red kidney beans from the same fate. So we'll see. This angle, you can see where I was over here. Look, that's what I trimmed off those tomato plants. I didn't move it after after I was done. I got up and left. Look, I'm trying to make everything nice and neat. I covered that little area with a tarp so I can have a nice clean area to work from. I'm trying, you guys. I am trying. Okay. My basil, and I will harvest the basil today because it's beginning to flower. This is my red bell pepper plant over here. And my last, let me slip through here. My last cherry tomato plant here. I haven't cut it down yet. I'm going to let it stay and continue to grow. We're going to see what happens with it. Let me slide over here. Try not to do shaky cam, guys. Plus, I'm trying to hurry up and film because it's hot. I want to get back under the patio. Okay, my corn plants. As you can see over here with the peaches and cream and the silver and gold, they're becoming full-size plants. I was concerned about the early sun glow because they were so short. I wasn't sure if they had begin to form tassels and silks prematurely or not. But I've been doing my job, and I've been hand pollinating. I've been making sure to hand pollinate, and with the peaches and cream, the little male part of the plant began to form, and some silks begin to show up. So I started hand pollinating. We're gonna see what happens. We'll see if I have some corn. Oh, okay, you guys. So you took my morning inspection with me today. I think everything looks pretty good. I am pleased with my garden. I'm pleased with my garden. Sometimes I get overwhelmed because so many things go wrong at one time. But things have, even though I'm still dealing with the heat, it seems like everything is faring well. I'm not losing anything because of heat. Even though I'm kind of worried about my tomatoes, I think the tomatoes, when it gets too hot, supposedly tomatoes will actually slow down. And I think that may have happened. I'm not sure. As you can see, the tomatoes are not covered by shade cloth. So I'm wondering. The reason why the watermelons are covered by shade cloth is because it was suggested that when you plant watermelons, they need a bit of shade. I don't know how true that is, but that's still covered. Where I have my new plants growing, it's still covered with shade cloth. I was considering, I know I keep saying it, but I was considering putting a 30% shade cloth over on the peppers because I was concerned about sun scald. But it looks like I need to be concerned about insects more than sun scald. I'm just disappointed. It attacked my little bell pepper. I was so waiting to harvest that bell pepper. I was allowing it to turn, red. So I went over there to check it, and right under the bottom. I'm heartbroken. That's okay. I'll bounce back. Look, you guys. You've seen the garden. You've seen my goodies. You've seen my little finds from the store, from Marshall's and from Home Depot. You found my. You've seen my my goodies from Clegg's nursery. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign off and just enjoy the rest of my Sunday. There's not anything to do in the garden because I did it all yesterday. I put it down yesterday, y'all. I left it all on the field yesterday. But I have to say, it was pleasant. It was pleasant. It was not hot because now it's a little warmer today, but there was a cool breeze in the air. Plus, I put a fan directly on me. So, but I got a lot of work done, and it left me with this feeling of just satisfaction, and it was rewarding because it's like it makes up for all the little hiccups that you have in the garden when you step back and everything is neat and in order. And I mean, you're gonna have situations, you're gonna lose crops, you're gonna have insects. That's the norm, but it just feels good and it feels rewarding when you can step back and look at your work and say, job well done. And it's going well. Look, my little hat. So I'm going to go ahead and log off now, you guys. Thank you for being here with me in the Joy Garden on this Sunday afternoon. I thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the little tour. Thank you for going on the inspection with me. Forgive me if you feel like I'm moving too quickly with the brassicas. Forgive me. But I'm telling you, that broccoli is heat tolerant. And I looked it up. The Cheers cabbage, they said you can plant it late summer. We're getting there. We're like, what? Okay, it's early August. But we're coming close to the end of the summer, right? Late summer. They said late summer, but they did say you can plant it in August. I looked it up. Okay. I love you guys. Bye.